Hi, I'm back today to talk about adverse childhood experiences or ACEs. So, first, let's discuss what is an ACE and why is this important for educators to know. So, an adverse childhood experience is a potentially traumatic event that occurs before a child's 18th birthday. I say potentially traumatic because what is traumatic to me is not necessarily the same as what is traumatic to you or somebody else. All of that is determined by our backgrounds, all of our experiences. So, why are ACEs important for educators to be aware of and know about? Well, our kids are coming into our schools with the added baggage of having, in some cases, several ACEs in their backpack. So, what do I mean by that having ACEs? So, if we take a look at this graphic on the screen from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, we can see that ACEs fall into three categories: abuse, neglect, and household dysfunction. So, abuse, this category refers to the things that are done to a child: physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, things of that sort. The second category is neglect. This category encompasses the things where something does not happen to the child. That seems a little backwards, right? What I mean by that is they're missing something. So if you're thinking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs and we're thinking about basic needs, they are missing some of those basic needs. So maybe we're talking physical neglect or emotional neglect in this category. The third category, household dysfunction. We can think of this as something that doesn't necessarily happen to the child, but directly impacts them. So it happens to a parent, a caregiver, a close friend, a grandparent that they're close to, somebody that they have a close relationship with. This could be things like a mental illness, mom or dad being incarcerated, somebody close to them having a substance abuse issue. Maybe there's domestic violence in the home, mom and dad are getting divorced. Maybe somebody was diagnosed with cancer or something terminal like that. Those would all fall into the household dysfunction category. So those things aren't necessarily happening to that child, but they're certainly going to impact them. So you can have many ACEs. So if you're looking at this list right now, you can just even tally up how many ACEs do you have? Were you, before the age of 18, abused physically? Were you neglected in any way? Did you have any of the household dysfunction? If you Google ACE quiz, it will basically take you through a series of questions and tally the number of ACEs that you have. So, our kids are coming to school, sometimes with one ACE, sometimes two, three, four ACEs. What we also know about ACEs is that the more you have, the higher risk you are for having long term negative implications on your life. So, particularly on your health and well being. So, people that have four ACEs before the age of 18 are at a higher risk later in life for developing heart disease, diabetes, mental health issues. There's a whole series of things that they are at a higher risk for. There's a lot of research being done right now, really to make the connection between ACEs in childhood, traumatic experiences in childhood, and mental health, physical health issues in adulthood. That's why this is so important to educators. So, your kids coming into school with one ACE really need certain things to help them build resilience. Your kids coming into school with four ACEs already, and they're only 10 years old, are really, really going to need some support, some love, some connections, relationships, a sense of security and safety in order to build that resilience that we want our kids to be able to build. So I hope this gave you kind of a quick debrief on ACEs and why they're so important for our schools to really take into account and understand so that we can support our kids in the best way possible. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you next time.